Welcome to the shop, guys. Today we're doing a little machining. I'm going to make my own static ports just because I can. I think it'll be fun. This is 1.5" aluminum round stock. I'm going to turn it down to look like a typical static port. On the outside, just a little bump out, and on the inside I'll turn it down so that I can push on I think they're safe air connectors is what they're called. But I'll try and bring you back into the video here with a little bit of work on the lathe. See you in a bit. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the machine shop today. I did make two of these, I don't know if you can see that, two of these static ports yesterday. I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. I didn't have stock as big as I wanted to use, but I think these are going to be just fine. I'm going to glue them in. So this will be the glue surface around the outside, and that's a 1/2 inch inside where the port actually will protrude through the skin, and there's a 1/2 inch hole in the skin. And then the connectors will push right onto the back of there, and there's a little bit of a radius there to keep that strength up. And then this is bored out. And then 16th inch hole there right out at the surface. So what we're getting ready to do here is find that one that I just dropped. There we go. We're going to turn this down. I've got it measured already. We're turning down to a 1/4 inch for the push-on connector part of it. So I need to turn a bunch of stuff off of here. So I've got a carbide cutter in there, which for this lathe is not ideal, but it works for hogging off material. I'm zeroing out the dial, and I'm going to go about 90 at a time. We got to take off 372. So there's 60, 70, 80, 90. And then that scratch mark on the inside there that you see is kind of my layout for where I need to stop. And then that's where the radius will go. There's 90. And that'll be 150. Let's just do that. We'll get close and then check it again just to make sure. There's 150. Well, 50 more, that'll give us 200. With just a little oil to help it cut just a little bit better. We need to go off another 175. So there's 60, 70, 80, 90. Let's go 100 this time. I don't think it'll have any trouble with that. Then we'll face off that end. Probably I might do that now and bore it before I take off any more. Face it and bore it with the 3/16. Let's go ahead and do that. That way it'll be plenty strong and it won't want to wobble around on me. So we'll put in a spotting drill. I've asked this question on the forums in the past, and I still don't remember the difference between and what I'm using here: spotting drill or a centering drill. Actually, I first want to face that off with you. You need to face it off so this is nice and smooth and flat, and then that way the spot and center drill will not wander around. This is where carbide isn't as good. I've got a bunch of high-speed steel that I ground myself, which is how I started. And it'll actually cut better on this aluminum because I can't turn fast enough or hold stuff rigid enough to make good use of carbide. And this is turning C80. I'll have to look at the RPM for you here in a second. That looks a little better. 850 RPM, and I think I got the belt on the center pulley. So now that's nice and flat. Now we can bring this in, and I'm just barely going to get started. I guess I can go right up to the countersink since it's a 3/16, I think is the drill I'm using here. Looks bigger than it should be. I bet I didn't need it to be that deep. And I'm going to check this one. That's not the right bit. What bit did I use there then? On that. There it is. That's the one. I think this is, just measure it for you. So I'm in a counter bore now. 155 thousandths. What is that? That's 5/32. I don't recall that's what I used the other day, but that must have been what was laying here, and it works. It's not a real critical dimension. That's an important part of machining for the hobbyist, I think, is understanding what's critical and what's not. So this is just a counter bore hole that is relief for that, and I want that to be about 55 thousandths deep. So let's decide how I'm going to do that. About a 1/2 inch. This thing's darn hard to read. It's my problem on my quill. I think I got it there. Oil. That's what we want right there. .600, that's good enough. You just don't want it to go too far in, and then the 16th inch hole for the outside part of it. You want that to. You don't want the big hole on the outside. Okay, let's turn off some more here. So I'm going to set the caliper to 1/4 inch. A little oversized won't hurt. And zero it, and then put this on here, and that measures what I have left to remove, 135, and I need to divide that by 2. I'm going to take off 67 thousandths. Come up here and touch off. Zero the scale. 60 thousandths, so let's go 60, and we'll measure it again. And this is the high-speed steel in here now. The high-speed steel will tend to get dull. You need to keep sharpening it on a stone or a diamond lap or whatever. That's the advantage of the carbide. doesn't need to be sharpened nearly as often. The carbide's harder to sharpen too. Let's see what we got now. 3 thousandths over. And let's find the connector and check that, see what we got. Actually, I'm going to zero this and measure it. That might be way over. 260, yeah, I'm 10 thousandths over 1/4 inch. This is not going to probably fit on there. Let's take it off to 250 if we can do that. Well, I think you see what's going on here. I'm probably going to pause the video and then I'll bring you back in when I get the thing turned around. Not much left to do here. I'll put the radius on it in the corner there, and then I'll part it off, and then I'll turn it around and stick it back in there and hold it by the stem. Let's see what we got there. There's 2. I think it got hot because it's measuring big, so I'm gonna let it cool off. I'll pause the video here and bring you back in when I get it turned around.